What's good? Oh my gosh, that voice crack was fucking crazy. Run that shit back. What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the reaction video. We got the worst betrayals in NFL history. Let's check this out.
NFL history. And first, one player's betrayal cost him 2 Super Bowl rings.
Nah, that's facts though. Now this nigga finna get traded again.
He made 6 consecutive Pro Bowls. He became the league's fastest player and even won a Super Bowl. But in 2022,
let's be for real though. Tyreek's not the fastest receiver in the NFL right now, bro. Like, let's be for you got Xavier Worthy, you got Jamison Williams, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot more players faster than Tyreek Hill now. He's still fast though, don't get me wrong, but he's not the fastest in the NFL no more.
Like, hey, we gotta get you involved, we gotta get you involved. And I'm like,
nah, y'all need to get me involved yesterday. Don't tell me about it today.
Exactly. Like, you know how to, you know the feeling. So I'm calling my agent every week after they say some crazy stuff like that. Like, bro, I gotta get out of here.
So let me ask you a question.
See, my man was jealous. Instead of becoming the game's top receiver, he became the dreaded third wheel.
You signed this huge contract, and now they want to wrap you.
Ew! Kids having some fun. Freak ass nigga.
We gotta keep fighting.
After everything the Chiefs accomplished, Hill was willing to throw it all away. And so the Chiefs traded him to the Miami Dolphins for a whopping 5 draft picks. And after losing his best wide receiver, Patrick Mahomes was devastated. That's when Hill decided to make it personal.
You had an opportunity to pick between Tua or pick between Zach Wilson. What was the determining factor in that?
I said it once and I'll say it again.
I know he didn't just ask him this dumbass question. Tua or Zach Wilson? I'm gonna be for real. Both of them suck ass. But Tua is way better than Zach Wilson. Let's be fucking for real.
Zach Wilson is a dog, but I rather play with the most accurate quarterback in the NFL, dog.
As if things weren't bad enough, Hill had the best season of his career. But in the playoffs, Hill's worst fear came true. Against his former team, the Chiefs clapped back, holding Hill to a single catch. And ultimately, Mahomes got the last laugh. The Chiefs didn't just send this dude to Cancun, they won the Super Bowl. Then in 2023, Hill watched his demise as his former team won their 2nd straight championship. Meanwhile, Saquon Barkley's betrayal turned his team into the league's biggest laughing stock.
Hey, yo!
In the 2024 offseason, all Giants fans prayed for one thing: Saquon Barkley's return. Heck, even the owner started praying.
I have a tough time sleeping if Saquon goes to Philadelphia.
Well, shit, I could imagine how that nigga felt when they won the Super Bowl, bro. Oh my gosh. I know that nigga was getting PTSD like crazy.
Saquon didn't just leave the Giants. He joined their biggest rival, the Philadelphia
Top
Eagles. And afterward, no one was more pissed than the Giants' all-time lead rusher, Tiki Barber.
But the fact that Saquon would even contemplate going to play for that,
he want to win a ring though, and that's exactly what happened. Like, if I'm Saquon, I wouldn't give a fuck. I would have said hop off my fucking balls. Like, real shit, nigga. Like, bro, you would have did the same thing. Like, let's be fucking for real. Like, come on, gang. He wanted to win a ring.
Turns out,
and that was the final piece the Eagles were missing.
Turn his back on the Giants. The Giants turned their back on him.
I already told you where I want to be, so.
Okay.
Shit, Giants ain't want him, so hey.
We'll go out and see what the market says.
Got that get back. That get back a motherfucker.
I love you,
real
man.
shit.
I appreciate everything you did for the
organization. And I still wish the Eagles would have started Saquon in the last game of the season so he can break the rushing record, bro. That would have just put the icing on the cake, bro. Like, come on, bro. You gotta play Saquon the last. I understand you wanna, you know what I'm saying, you want him fully healthy for the playoffs. But bro, that would have made him, you know what I'm saying, going to the Eagles even better, bro.
How could the Giants not pay their top player when their quarterback Daniel Jones was making 3 times his asking price? But that was only the beginning. In the ultimate sign of karma, Barkley made history, becoming the 8th running back to rush 2,000 yards in a season. Meanwhile, the Giants released Daniel Jones before the season was even over. Another player is proving
Jared Goff.
When the Rams selected Jared Goff first overall in 2016, fans expected him to be their franchise quarterback of the future.
You kind of said the same with Matthew Stafford too, though.
3 times.
This is probably like the most even trade of all time.
Failed to win a championship. The entire
I
organization.
mean, probably the Rams probably got the upper hand on that since they got a ring out of it. But Goff been good for the Lions.
Matthew Stafford. And instead of proving the doubters wrong, Goff responded with one of his worst seasons. In 14 games with the Lions, Goff only won 3 games. And to make matters worse, the Rams ended up winning the Super Bowl. So heading into the following season, it became painfully obvious. Jared Goff was the problem. But 2 years later, the unthinkable happened. Goff turned his career around, leading the Lions to their first playoff appearance since 2016. It had been over 30 years since the Lions' last playoff win, and now they were on the precipice of history. But standing in their way was a familiar opponent, the Los Angeles Rams. This was Jared Goff's opportunity to prove his doubters wrong and eliminate the team that kicked him to the curb.
They are the three. Goff stretching in the middle. Reynolds is on fire.
Yeah, this game was crazy.
Throws back to the end zone.
Then they ran it back
The
the
same
next
guy who
season.
everyone counted out successfully ended the Lions' 31-season playoff drought.
Okay, I'll just say it like this. All right? Hey, you're good enough for Detroit, Jay.
Hey, I love and appreciate you guys more than you fucking know. I promise you that. I love you guys so fucking much. This is just the beginning, boys.
But Goff isn't the only one proving the doubters wrong, because Josh Allen, he's having
Josh.
the best season of his career, making him the MVP frontrunner. However, fans can't help but notice who's missing: Stephon Diggs, the guy who turned Allen into a superstar, the man who's been his go-to weapon for years. The Diggs to Allen connection was supposed to be unstoppable, but in the 2023 playoffs, when Allen needed Diggs the most, his star receiver threw a temper tantrum.
Nah, for
Against
real.
the Bengals, Diggs started yelling at Allen on the sidelines. Following the loss,
I mean, like, Diggs, you can't be mad because you did drop a big time pass, bro, and you know what I'm saying, like in the fourth quarter
Even
game.
just minutes later,
So,
in the
like,
offseason,
hey.
tensions only heightened. Diggs skipped mandatory minicamp. A year later, the Bills decided to finally end Stephon Diggs' experiment by trading him and drafting his replacement, Keon Coleman. That's when Allen said this.
Steph's a great player, and what he brought to this team was special. Miss is I don't know if I'd say miss. You know, he was a guy that was reliable. You can look to. He's gonna have the juice each and every day. I'm sure he's bringing it over there in Houston. So definitely, yeah, you can't say that you don't miss that. But I am very happy with what we got going on here and how hard the guys have been working. And yeah.
It's crazy to think they went from this
Playing with this guy, practicing with this guy. He's a guy that can do it. And you just want to play for him, you know? He works hard. He busts his not the A word. He busts his A word. And I just love this guy, man. That's it.
to this.
Oh, yeah, look at his back, look at his back.
I just love this guy, man. That's it.
To
Bro, this shit was funny as hell, bro. Ah, they didn't get the free frame. Oh, there it is.
Bill Belichick got the opposite. Of
Yo,
because
nah,
he
he
gets
side-eyed the hell out of Josh Allen,
To
bro.
many, Belichick will go down as the greatest coach of all time. In 24 seasons with the Patriots, he won an unprecedented 6 Super Bowls, but he almost never coached the Patriots.
Yeah, it was
begin
coached
with.
for the
In
Jets.
1999, he
Yup.
was the associate head coach of the New York Jets under the legendary Bill Parcells. But once Parcells abruptly retired, Belichick was thrust into action as the new head coach. That said, there was a major question mark. When Jets owner Leon Hess passed away, it turned into a massive bidding war. Suddenly, the Jets' leadership became a huge enigma. That's when a napkin changed everything. On this fateful napkin,
His
Belichick wrote the
resignation.
sentence that would haunt Jet fans for years. I resign as head coach of the New York Jets. And what happened
That's
next
crazy.
left everyone speechless.
The new owner, yet to be determined, is a question mark. The leadership from the new owner
I don't blame him, though, bro.
is a question mark. And my role in all that is another question mark.
Less than 24 hours after taking over, Belichick officially resigned. 4 weeks later, he became the head coach of the New England Patriots. In the 25 years since, the Jets have made the playoffs just 6 times, whereas the Patriots have made the playoffs 17 times. But one betrayal that few expected was the downfall of 2 teammates, Donovan McNabb and Terrell Owens.
Oh,
By
shit.
2004, McNabb had led the Eagles to 3 straight NFC Championship games, only to come up short every single time. So the Eagles made a power move and brought in Terrell Owens. McNabb and Owens already had a connection from past Pro Bowls where they'd hit it off. These two were supposed to be unstoppable, and at first, they were. In their first season together, they powered the Eagles all the way to the Super Bowl. But in the biggest game of their lives, McNabb threw 3 interceptions and even started puking. That's because the night
shit.
before, this man was too busy partying.
Personally, I didn't see it, but there are guys, and I know that there are teammates that I've talked to recently that said that they saw him throw up in the huddle. I've talked to teammates since then and know for a fact that he was out the night before.
And Owens was
Ow.
fuming.
Like, bro, you couldn't wait another day until y'all win the Super Bowl to party after that? Like, bro.
Last, the following season, things got even worse, as Owens claimed he would rather have Brett Favre at quarterback.
Your friend
God.
Michael Irvin recently
I would
said
too.
that if Brett Favre was the starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, they'd be undefeated right now. What do you think of that comment?
I mean, That's a good assessment. I would agree with that.
But in the offseason, Owens completely imploded. He demanded a new contract, criticized McNabb in the media, and even staged a driveway workout when the Eagles suspended him.
The helicopters and everybody is around my house. I just tried to have fun with it, you know, entertaining the
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember
at
that.
the same time.
And this left the Eagles with no choice but to release Owens. What once started as a friendship had turned into the ultimate betrayal. As bad as that is, Aaron Rodgers was also betrayed by the person he least expected. In 2004, many expected Rodgers to be the first overall pick by the 49ers, but instead, he fell over 20 picks to the Green Bay Packers.
We draft based on what we consider to be the best player available.
And then what's crazy, he could never beat the damn Niners in the playoffs, bro.
I thought maybe some divine intervention had played a part.
With the 24th selection in the 2005 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Aaron Rodgers, quarterback, California.
When everyone passed on him, there was one man who believed in him, Packers general manager Ted Thompson. Fast forward 15 years later, and Aaron Rodgers was a two-time MVP and a Super Bowl champ. That said, there was one major dilemma. By 2020, it had been a decade since the Packers made the last Super Bowl. And heading into the draft, the Packers desperately needed receiver help. They hadn't picked a first-round receiver in nearly
Jordan
20
Love.
years. But at 26th pick, they couldn't wait any longer.
26th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Jordan
Like,
Love.
I really want to know what was going through Packers fans' heads when they heard this pick be announced, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I would have been heated. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Now, it all panned out because Jordan Love's the starting QB now, but nigga, y'all could have won a ring if y'all would have drafted another fucking wide receiver beside Devontae Adams. Like, bro.
Instead of helping Aaron Rodgers, they did the exact opposite.
I can just imagine you there, that you got Tequila there and the Packers, and they're going to take a wide receiver here. Of course we are. And the Packers take Jordan Love. Did you know they were taking him prior to the pick?
No, I found out 5 seconds before the.
That's
The Packers
crazy,
stabbed
bro.
Rodgers in the back.
I would have requested for a trade right then and there. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
A lot of people, at least in our camp, thought that Jordan would have been there when we were picking, and the opportunity presented itself, and it was an opportunity that Ted Thompson thought was too good to pass up.
The same guy who advocated for Rodgers advocated for his replacement, but just when his team wrote him off, he responded with the greatest statistical season of his career. Rodgers completed a league-high 71% of his passes, over 4,200 yards and 48 touchdowns. Instead of getting benched, he won his third MVP. That said, Geno Smith didn't just get written off. He suffered a career.
They wrote me off, but I ain't right back, though.
In 2015, Geno was at a crossroads. After 2 unsuccessful seasons as a starter, this was his last chance to secure the starting job. Little did he know, his chance would be over before the season even began. See, in the offseason, Geno did his teammate dirty. His teammate, Ike Enampoli, invited him to help with his youth football camp. But at the last minute, Geno bailed for personal reasons. His only problem? His teammate already paid for his $600 plane ticket. So naturally, the right thing would be to refund his teammate for the plane ticket. But nah, Geno was so selfish, he didn't even bother to pay for his ticket. That's when Enampoli confronted him in the locker room. And
oh, this is what happened. Okay, because when I was doing like the Jets vid and shit like that, they were talking about him getting sucker punched. I didn't know it's because it is. Yo. Damn.
Because Geno ended up with a broken jaw. Safe to say, Geno has come a long way since this incident. On the other hand, Bill O'Brien's betrayal costed him his reputation and future. See, O'Brien established himself as one of the league's top coaches. In his first 6 seasons, the Texans only had 1 losing season. Yet, the Texans were desperate for a championship. Despite 5 winning records, they failed to make it past the second round. That's when the Texans gave O'Brien all the power. As of 2022,
that was big mistake at trading away D-Hop for a bag of Lay's potato chips and a half-eaten apple.
He traded 4-time Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins to the Cardinals for running back David Johnson and a second-round pick. And it didn't take long before it turned into one of the worst trades of all time.
Yeah.
Hopkins had one of the best seasons
It's definitely
of his
up there.
with over 1,400 yards and the catch of the year.
6 seconds. Murray keeps it downfield. It is caught.
This place still crazy. Over 3 All-Pros, bro.
Meanwhile, Bill O'Brien was
at the time, all 3 of those niggas were All-Pros.
That still wasn't even the pettiest trade.
Or at least Pro
Josh
Bowlers.
Daniels crossed the line that no coach should ever cross. In 2023, he leaked Darren Waller's wedding to WNBA player Kelsey Plum. And Waller
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Hey, Waller, you fumbled bad, bro. I'ma keep it a buck, nigga. What the fuck? This nigga cheesing like a motherfucker back there, nigga. Like, Why the hell you smiling like that, gang?
Leaked Darren Waller's wedding to WNBA player Kelsey.
He probably saw the future that he was gonna fumble that. That's probably why he laughed.
What he wanted was paparazzi at his wedding. He was so pissed that McDaniels didn't even get an invite to the wedding. And instead of letting it go, his coach retaliated. 10 days after his wedding, McDaniel traded a star tight end to the New York Giants for a merely third-round
because he didn't invite you to the wedding, nigga.
Ruined the man's career. But next up, Antonio Brown used his vendetta to ruin an iconic
AB.
romance. Brown used to be the league's best receiver, but everything changed with Juju Smith-Schuster. AB took
TikTok
Juju
boy.
under his wing and turned him into a superstar. In their first year together, they combined for nearly 2,500 receiving yards. But in 2018, things took a dark turn. After leading the league with 15 receiving touchdowns, AB once again solidified himself as the league's best receiver, or so he thought. When it came to pick a team MVP, his teammates picked Juju over him.
Huh?
AB didn't appreciate this.
MVP is the most valuable player that, go out there and put his soul on the line, heart on the line.
Nigga, if you're picking Juju over AB, bro, you need help. I'm not gonna lie to you, nigga.
We're trying to build up another player to try to be who I am. In the midst of that, I was just like, we ain't gonna never
like
win.
Juju was never on AB's level, ever. He was good, but AB was on a different level, bro.
AB was about to lose his mind.
Yeah.
During that week's practice, Big Ben snapped at his diva receiver. After AB ran the wrong route, Ben threw the ball on the ground and said, "Get him out of here. Get somebody else in there." That's when AB went off the rails, refusing to play in their Week 17 matchup. Then in the offseason, he refused to answer calls from his coaches and quarterback.
I was so hurt at that point, I probably just blocked his number.
God.
Leaving the Steelers no choice but move on from their
CTE,
8-time
bro.
Pro Bowler. Which brings us to the biggest betrayal in NFL history.
Thomas
freaking
Edison Brady.
Yeah, the guy who built the Patriots dynasty. 6 Super Bowls, 20
Hey,
years of dominance.
let's settle this right now. If Tom Brady would have never started, would the Patriots ever get a Super Bowl ring? Because he's the reason why they have all 6 now. So if it wasn't for Tom Brady, I don't think Bill Belichick is going to be a Hall of Fame head coach, and I don't think the Patriots have 6 Super Bowl rings. Like, real shit, if it's not for Tom Brady.
The golden boy of New England. But in 2020, everything changed. See, for years, Brady
And then this nigga left and then went ahead and got another ring.
And the GOAT coach taking the league by storm. But behind the scenes, tension was building. Brady felt like he wasn't getting the respect he deserved. Instead, Belichick treated him just like another player and failed to surround him with a better supporting cast. And then came the bombshell. Brady walked. After 20 years with New England, Brady left the only team he ever knew for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a team that hadn't even sniffed the Super Bowl since 2003.
All he needed was a quarterback.
He was supposed to be a lifer, but Brady wasn't done. In his first season with the Bucs, he took the team all the way to the Super Bowl and won. For the Chiefs.
In convincing fashion, too. There's AB. Gronk.
Third option, end zone for the touchdown.
For Patriot fans, it was a dagger to the heart. Watching Brady host the Lombardi Trophy in a Bucs jersey, this wasn't just a betrayal. It was a full-blown nightmare. But do you know what the best medicine for...
He's gonna end the video like that, nigga? Okay. Oh my gosh. Hey man, I wanna know what you guys think down in the comments below. Y'all let me know what other NFL videos y'all want to react to. Without further ado, I'm out.
I'ma make them feel me, make them people when they show me. And if you don't know me, I'ma make sure that you know me. I hate to say it, but I really think I'm broke. But I know I'm chosen, I really know I'm chosen. I know I'm chosen. I was just lost a year ago, but now I'm focused. When good at sports, this microphone can be my trophy. Not taking drugs, I found a better way of coping.